Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to Low Carb Recipe Ideas. Today we're going to make a low carb chocolate peanut butter cup. I'm sure you've all eaten Reese's buttercup or chocolate peanut butter cups and they're absolutely delicious, and we're going to try and make it low carb. So let's get started. So we're going to work at the stove, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'll get that. I've got it already turned on high, and I'm just going to turn it on lower just so that we don't burn anything. And now I'm going to use 3 cubes of chocolate, and this is unsweetened chocolate by Baker's is the product I'm using, and I'm using 3 cubes because they're asking for 3 ounces. Now the carb count for 1 square is 5 net carbs, which is quite reasonable, and this is an unsweetened chocolate. So we're going to throw all 3 of them into the pot, and we're just going to stir it around and let that melt. And I have it turned down onto medium. And then I'm going to, while that is melting, I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more because I don't want it to burn on me. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So we're just going to stir this up. There, I've got it all melted. Now I'm going to take and put 12 drops of stevia into my mixture. I've turned it down a little bit more because it's starting to bubble. We'll stir that in. Now I'll put the recipe on my site for my liquid stevia. What I've done is you boil your water in the kettle, you take stevia powder, and you put a 1/4, the measurement is a 1/4 of stevia to 3/4 of boiling water. And then you put it in an eyedropper, mix it up, let it dissolve, and then you've got liquid stevia. So now I'm going to use xylitol, and I have 2 tablespoons of powdered xylitol. Now what I've done is I've taken and put the xylitol into my Ninja food processor, and I've blended it to break it down because your xylitol is like a sugar granule, and I wanted it powdery because I didn't want the crystally feeling in my chocolate. And yes, I still find we get a little bit of it because it doesn't dissolve as well as it should. But there we go. We've got the chocolate all ready to go. So I'm going to shut the burner off. Now I've taken my chocolate off of the stove, and I've just used cake pans, and I've got silicone cupcake holders. You can use the wax paper ones if you'd like, but I like these because they're so easy to peel out, and I can just keep reusing them, and I don't have to buy new paper ones every time I turn around. So I'm going to take my tablespoon, and I'm just going to pour chocolate into the bottom of each one. And I will stop and show you what I'm going to do with it. I've got to get rid of my spoon here. Is we're going to take and we're just going to sort of roll it around a little bit so you get some chocolate along the edge also, because you want to put your peanut butter in after that. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of chocolate along the side, and then it all joins, and then you won't see the chocolate or the peanut butter after you've got them all made. So I will continue on filling these, and then we'll do the next step. So I'm making a total of 12. So I have 2 cookie cake pans, and I'm just rolling the last one here, and I'm going to put them in the fridge and let them cool off, and then we'll go from there. While I have my cupcake holders in the fridge so the chocolate hardens, I've got my chocolate sitting at the back here just on a warmer so that it stays warm and it stays runny for me. It doesn't harden on me. So we're going to make the filling for these peanut butter cups. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a half a cup of peanut butter. Now I'm using President's Choice just crunchy, or just peanut crunchy. The carb count is very reasonable. It is, got to see it here, two net carbs per 1 tablespoon, and we're using half a cup. So I've measured that out, and we're just going to put it into the pot. And I picked the crunchy because I think it's nice to have a little bit of texture in the peanut butter cup, have a little crunch there. So that's why I've chosen this kind. Now you don't have to, you can use regular, and in fact you could even use regular peanut butter, but you need to keep an eye on what you're picking, because the carb counts are as low as that on regular peanut butter also. You just have to check the labels. So I've got my stuff out of the freezer, and I've already put a teaspoon in each one, which I still have more left over. I wasn't exactly sure how much I needed in each one, so it actually probably would work out to almost a tablespoon for each one. So we're just going to continue putting some in here. And then what we need to do is we need to take them, and we need to just take them and flatten them out so that we have them sort of filled in a little bit in the bottom. So I've got them all in there. Now we're going to just take our chocolate and pour over top. And then I will just move it around. Where's my little knife here? There we go. So I'm going to do that to all of them. And you don't need a lot to make this work. So once I've got enough in each one, press that one down. That actually worked quite well. So I'm just taking them, I've got this stuff on top, the chocolate on top, move it around a little bit, it smooths it out. Now it appears that I don't have enough chocolate. I probably used too much chocolate in some of them, so next time I make them, see, they come out nice and smooth. Like this one's quite large, and I probably didn't need to put as much chocolate in as I did, but I did, so that's something I'm going to have to fix next time I make it. So just move it around, it'll smooth it out nice and smooth, and it should come out just lovely when, yeah, there you go. So I'll continue doing the rest of them. So I've made these many times before, but for some reason I was short a little bit of chocolate. So just dab it around, move it up, because your peanut butter is quite solid, that you're just wanting to get some chocolate over top, and some has gone more to the bottom. And just shake it up a little bit, and they'll become nice and smooth, and when you put them back in the fridge, they're going to come out nicely. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more out of my last one that I don't have any for. And if not, we'll just have to go with the bare necessities of our chocolate and make it. It'll be just as good, it just won't have as much chocolate on it. See if we can get the rest of it out. That's about all I can get. So I'll just dab this around a little bit, and you can pull up some of the chocolate from underneath, because some of it I did put too much in. So that one's a little thinner, but I'm sure it's going to taste just as good as the rest of them. There we go. So I have 12 Reese's, well, they're not Reese's, but low-carb buttercup peanut butter cups. So I'll put them in the fridge and let them cool off, and then we'll be back to test them out. So here are my low-carb chocolate peanut butter cups. They're like Reese's cups. They are very dark chocolate, so I guess if you don't like dark chocolate, you're not really going to be fussy on this. But look, they're so cute. They look really good. Now, the xylitol, I did make it into a powder, but it still has a little bit of crystal crunch when you bite into it, but it's just a nice change. So I'm going to take a bite and we'll see how it goes. Very nice, but I think you really have to like dark chocolate to be able to eat this. Now my husband doesn't like dark chocolate. He says, well, I guess you're going to eat them all, which I will. They work out to be about approximately 4 net carbs per cup, and I made 12 of them. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this recipe. Go to my lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, try this recipe and try others. You take care, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bye now.